All right, Sunday predictions, all right? This very Sunday, in this video, you will be receiving two predictions. The first bet slip, 4.6 odds. The second bet slip is gonna be simple, 2.5 odds in the second bet slip, all right? It's going to be a winning day. Let us talk about Saturday results. How many of you expected that we are going to record another clean sheet, another back-to-back winning yesterday? I know most of you recorded that, expected that. Unfortunately, that wasn't the scenario yesterday. We had a majority of the selections losing terribly, and I have myself to blame, all right? I'm not going to blame Saturday. We all know Saturday has been jinxed. But yesterday, the losses were due to me, or were due to my own errors. So I greatly want to sincerely apologize for that. And I assure you the 6 matches that we are going over today are well done. And that is why I've taken so much time to ensure that I deliver accuracy, right? Accuracy. 92% to probably 100% today, right? That is what we're getting in this video. So you're watching us for the very first time. Welcome on board to the Must Better YouTube channel. This is where you deserve to be, all right? When I say this is where you deserve to be, the only reason I am confidently saying that is because I believe in what I'm doing. I understand where you're coming from. I know your exact position, all right? We share the same background. We share the same history in sports betting. At one given time, I was struggling to win bets just like you. And of course, above all, I was having very minimal amounts to stake. Today, I am staking so much, and of course, I am able to bet professionally and make much more profit. So if you think you want to be like me and win back-to-back, then this is where you're supposed to be subscribed. So the very first bet slip today, Bournemouth versus Manchester City, all right? When you go through this game and you go through the head-to-head records, the last 6 matches between Bournemouth versus Manchester City, 5 of them ended in over 2.5 goals. That is reason enough to start thinking of over 2.5 goals, all right? Another thing we must realize is this season, Manchester City are in the danger of finishing trophyless, all right? If they are eliminated by Bournemouth, right? Because in the Premier League, I don't really think they stand a chance. They're out of the Champions League too, all right? So it's hard for them. It's hard for them. It's really, really hard for them, all right? So I don't really think they stand a chance. So this is a game they're going to take seriously. Unfortunately, this time round, I've not seen City stepping up in the cup matches like they used to, right? So if they don't step up today, then Bournemouth might win the game. All I know is that Bournemouth, they have the opportunity of going ahead and getting a win out of this today, all right? So factoring my analysis on that, I want to believe it's a game that is easily going to result in goals. It's a game that is easily going to deliver as goals, right? Bournemouth, Manchester City. The head-to-head records strongly proving that. Bournemouth recent games, an indication of goals to be recorded. And Manchester City recent games, they have been conceding even from weak teams. So over 2.5 goals. Other selections you might consider for the game, City win or draw. Bournemouth over 4.5 corners. And the scoreline is 2-3 or 2-2, right? The next game we have is Preston versus Aston Villa. And this is the game. We are very direct to the point. Aston Villa to win. Aston Villa is going to be playing the last non-Premier League side in the competition, all right? And they're coming into this game. I'm talking about Aston Villa. The results they bring into this game is a 4-match winning streak, which is immaculate to me. I love it. And the last 3 matches, the last 3 head-to-head matches between Aston Villa and Preston have all resulted have all resulted in draws, all right? That is another factor which is important. You know, when a draw is a common occurrence in a game, that is something you should not ignore. There's a possibility that the draw might still occur, all right? However, I strongly believe that, you know, with Preston missing a few key players, Aston Villa has an edge in this game, and they have the quality. And given the fact that Preston have been inconsistent working in this game, while Aston Villa, their run coming into this game is brilliant. Out of the last 6 matches played coming into this game, we have them winning in 5 out of the last 6 matches. So that is another reason why I strongly believe Aston Villa are going to shine today. So Aston Villa to win. The odd is 1.40. Preston will fight, but Emery's side, Villa are simply too sharp, too deep, and too well drilled for this level. All right? Then we have Dortmund playing Mainz. Another interesting game from Germany Bundesliga. Germany Bundesliga. We all know Germany Bundesliga to be a league where goals is to be expected in plenty. All right? So what is the reason behind our prediction? Both teams to score and Mainz Asian handicap +1, despite Mainz not being the favorite by the bookmakers. Go through your betting site. Dortmund has been given an odd of 1.60. How many odds has Mainz been given? 5.25, which is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. An odd of 5.25 on a Mainz side that is on form, to me, doesn't make sense. All right? I am actually still struggling to understand why Mainz has an odd of 5.25. Because I go through the players, I still expect them to field the first 11 they fielded in their last game, all right? Where they were able to have a 2-2 draw against Freiburg. Their form is simply, it's sparkling. It's sparkling, believe me. It's really sparkling. 2-2 draw, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0 win, 2-0 win. That is Mainz. Compare that to the results Dortmund is bringing. 2-0 loss, 1-2 win. 2-1 win, 1-0 loss, 1-1 draw, right? So another thing you must take note of, Mainz are unbeaten in their last 6, and they are unbeaten in their last 3 away matches. And of course, they beat Dortmund twice this season. Another thing that makes me mad, the odds are really disappointing. 3-1, they beat Dortmund 3-1 this season and 3-0 this season. At the moment, it's no lie that Dortmund are actually not in form. So if Mainz is to go ahead and continue showing the firepower they have been showing in their recent matches, where their goals per game has been either 2 or more, then I expect them to be in a position to edge Dortmund and actually win this game, right? Both teams to score, the reason why that is an option we must consider. Dortmund are at home, and of course we all know Dortmund at home. They are still strong, yeah? At least the home factor, that they are in a position to salvage themselves and redeem themselves, right? This is the salvation they have been seeking, and maybe it might put them back in the spotlight. If they win this one, they're going to get 38 points, and they probably finish 9th or 10th by the end of game week 27. However, my prediction for Dortmund versus Mainz, in no way am I expecting so much from Dortmund, all right? My analysis, what we are backing is both teams to score. That is a more sane option rather than Dortmund to win. Because there's no way I'm writing Mainz off, right? Everything shows that they have to score in this game. And Mainz are tactically superior, defensively sharp, and pressing high. Dortmund form and morale is brittle at the moment. Underdog value is real in this game. So if you do have the courage and the balls, then you can at least back Mainz win or draw, or Mainz win at least 1/2, or Mainz to win the game. There's so much value in that very market. The next match is Barcelona-Girona. Their last game, controversial, right? 3-0 wins. I've seen a lot of news online that one of the players wasn't supposed to play in their last 3-0 win. Barcelona versus Girona. I mean, it was Barcelona versus Osasuna. The game we are analyzing right now is Barcelona versus Girona. And the prediction is simple. Barcelona to go ahead and win, all right? And they should win by covering the Asian handicap negative 1.5 market, all right? Why is this the scenario, all right? Their last 5 straight home wins, all the wins were by 2 or more goals, all right? In the last 5 Barcelona home wins, they won by 2 or more goals, all right? So they're always scoring. They're on form. Girona are winless in the last 6 matches coming into these. Both teams have scored in 4 of the last 5 head-to-head matches, and Girona has also scored in their last 3 matches, where all of them ended in a draw. 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw, all right? So the reason why I am betting on Barcelona to win the game and over 1.5 is because I expect goals to be a common figure in this game, all right? Goals should be common in this game. 8 wins in a row. That is Barcelona. Huge goal margin. The 8 wins in a row, that is under the tournament, Spain La Liga. So what is the prediction for Barcelona versus Girona? Barcelona to win and over 1.5 goals. And one thing I was forgetting. If you quickly go to your SofaScore app at the moment, all right? Those of you who don't have SofaScore, there's a link in the video description. Quickly install it so that we are together. And you go under the team streaks in your SofaScore app. Over 10.5 corners is a common occurrence. More than 10.5 corners occurred 5 over 6 in the last 6 matches played by Barcelona. All right? For Girona, the same. In the last 8 matches, more than 10.5 corners occurred 6 times, all right? And in terms of head-to-head, that is where the statistic hasn't been provided, all right? That is where the statistic hasn't been provided. So my take on this game in terms of corners, Barcelona versus Girona, we should expect plenty corners. Potentially over 10 corners, over 9 corners, or over 11 corners. Work with that, all right? There's so much value in that too. So in Barcelona, Girona, if there's a market that presents value, then it should be the corner market. Believe me. Then we have Inter versus Udinese coming up next. Our prediction is Inter to win, and I'm going to keep the analysis for the game brief, right? One thing that I've noted is over 2.5 goals is an unexpected outcome in this game, right? Inter versus Udinese. Over 2.5 goals is an expected outcome in this game, right? In their last head-to-head matches, the last 6, we had 5 of them ending in over 2.5. Both teams to score occurred in the last 4 out of 6 head-to-head matches, all right? Today, in terms of position, standing, you know, what these teams are really seeking out of this game, it's Inter that has a lot at stake compared to Udinese, all right? So Inter have scored 3 or more goals in 4 of their last 6 matches versus Udinese, right? So when we go through the last 6 matches played by Udinese and Inter head-to-head, right? In 4 of them, Inter was able to score 3 or more goals, all right? And another thing, Inter won the last one by a scoreline of 2-0, the other one by a scoreline of 3-2, 2-1. So Inter are going to be having it easy in this game, all right? Factoring in that Udinese, in their last 2 games, they're winless, unlike Inter, who have won their last 2 games. And they're going to look forward to build early momentum. When I talk about early momentum, my definition of momentum in this scenario is that in terms of Serie A, this is a game where they capitalize and they get the points and they get to solidify their position at the top, because it's not really guaranteed. 64, 61, 58, the point difference is still fragile. Anyone can go ahead and grab it. And remember, they have a tight fixture coming up in the early days of April. They'll be playing Milan. They'll be playing Bayern. So that is another thing we must consider. All right? So we really expect Inter to go ahead and win this game. The last game we are having is Freiburg playing Berlin. Freiburg versus Berlin. This is the prediction for Freiburg versus Berlin from Germany Bundesliga. A tough game, I'm not going to lie. It's really a tough game. It was a tough one for me to finally decide that under 2.5 is the market. It has taken me roughly 40 minutes, right? Trying to have a proper understanding of this. Because first and foremost, right, I kind of got, biased. Because when I go through the odds, Freiburg are instantly termed the favorites to win. Right? And then when you go through the standings, you realize that, of course, Freiburg still has a lot to get in the game. Now, where it got a bit interesting is when you go through the head-to-head records. Right? Berlin, they have got more wins in the head-to-head records. Unlike Freiburg, who in the head-to-head records have only won 2. And another thing, all right, in terms of head-to-head, their last head-to-head, we had a 0-0 draw, 2-1 win in favor of Berlin, a 0-0 draw. But generally, if you go through their last 6 head-to-head matches, there's a scenario whereby goals occur easily when goals are to occur, and a scenario whereby goals don't occur when they have decided not to score. All right? The other factor that was worth noting in this game is the fact that Berlin away has really been shaky this season, and they have not scored so much and gotten so much points in their away matches. Likewise to, Union Berlin, to Freiburg. Freiburg, generally in the last 4 matches overall, it's not been the best results we expect out of them. So I won't say either of these teams is in great form at the moment. So I'm not expecting that much from all of them at this moment. All right? What I know is that in terms of Germany Bundesliga, Freiburg are unbeaten in their last 7. They've won 3. They've won 4, and they've had 3 draws. All right? And in that period, or in that stretch of 7 Bundesliga games played by Freiburg, 6 of them, they were able to maintain a clean sheet. All right? And their wins has been either 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. That is the most common win when Freiburg is to win a game. So I don't expect them to perform really differently and go ahead and win by 4-0 today. I don't expect that from them. So my analysis in this game really relies on the fact that I'm expecting both teams not to score plenty goals, because their average goals in the recent matches has been extremely low. All right? In terms of head-to-head, when I specifically narrow my head-to-head analysis to the last 3 matches, I can confidently say that my under 2.5 analysis is justified. Why? 0-0 draw, 0-0 draw, 2-1 in favor of Berlin. So that is why our main prediction for Freiburg versus Berlin is under 2.5. The other prediction is Berlin over 3 corners in the game, and I love the option. Why do I love the option? They average 10.8 corners, and recently, the head-to-head shows that their form of play is likely to result into Berlin getting high corners, all right? So that is it. The 6 matches we have analyzed. Now I'm going to give you a breakdown of the 4.6 odds, and finally, a breakdown of the 2.55 odds. Let us begin with the 2.55 odds, all right? In the 2.55 odds, this is what we have. We have Inter Milano versus Udinese. Inter Milano to win. The odd is 1.431. Freiburg versus Union Berlin. The second, under 2.5 goals. The odd is 1.785. So these 2 matches are forming our first bet slip, which has 2.55 odds, all right? In our second bet slip, we have 4.617 odds. Bournemouth versus Manchester City, over 2.5 goals. Preston versus Aston Villa win. Dortmund versus Mainz, both teams to score. And finally, Barcelona versus Girona, Barcelona to win and over 1.5 goals, all right? So 4 matches giving us 4.61 odds. And that brings us to the end of today's prediction video. This very point, I'm only going to insist on the following things. If you haven't joined us inside Telegram, join us right now, because after this, I am instantly posting another bet slip, right? I am instantly posting another 4 odds after this inside our Telegram channel. The link to join us inside Telegram, there's a link in the pinned comment section. There's a link in the video description. Join us over there. And if the video is valuable, please share the video, like the video, and let me see you in our next video. Probably the live stream, all right? So bye-bye.